Hey guys, Sausage here. Have you ever had the masculine or feminine urge to dig a hole? Released onto Steam on February 7th, 2025, a game about digging a hole is, well, a game about digging a hole. The craziest part about all of this, however, is that an employee of the company who made this game actually came up with the idea for this while on vacation, then spent 14 days creating this game. So just keep that in mind as we dig through this review. Sorry. The story is short, sweet, and simple. You buy a house for $10,000 and then you start digging a hole in the backyard. My only two questions are when and why. Why is the house only $10,000? Does it take place in 1959, or is there some sort of issue with the plot of land? I can't really get into that because that would be getting into spoilers. Just know you see a house for $10,000, you buy it, and then you start digging a hole. That's it. That's the whole story. As for the gameplay, your only goal is to dig a hole. You start the game with a little garden trowel, but as you play, you can upgrade into bigger and bigger shovels. The way to do that, though, is you have to dig and you will find minerals or ores, starting with just regular stone, moving up to coal, copper. Eventually, you'll be finding silver, gold, platinum, diamonds, and then you sell these rocks and ores for money, which then you use the money to upgrade your items. Like I said with the shovel, you can upgrade your shovel to get bigger and bigger so you can dig bigger and bigger holes. You can upgrade your backpack, which will hold more ore and more minerals, such as your rocks, your stones, your diamonds, all those sorts of things. You can upgrade your battery to be a bigger battery, which I'll get to, and you can upgrade your jetpack, which allows you to fly faster. Now you might be asking yourself, Sausage, why do you have a jetpack? Well, that's because everybody knows the most efficient way to climb out of a hole is with a jetpack. Now, let's go back to the shovel. Shovel requires manually clicking to dig. You have to left click, left click, left click, left click. But the last 3 or so upgrades give you a drill, which automatically digs for you so long as you actually hold the left mouse button. Now, let's talk about the battery. Your shovel is battery powered, which doesn't make any sense, but it is. And as you dig, or as you use your jetpack, you will use your battery charge. If you lose all of your battery charge, you'll basically pass out and then revive on the surface, but you'll lose all your ore. You'll keep all your money, you'll keep all your upgrades, but any ores, any minerals, all those things that you found, those are just gone. So you'll have to go back down in the hole and dig more minerals. On top of that, there is some extra equipment that you can buy, such as lamps and dynamite, both of which are pretty self-explanatory, as lamps light up the area and then dynamite blows things up. Now let's talk about the time. I beat this game in about 2 hours, and the game costs about $5. Not a bad price for the amount of time you get out of it, but just know that it is a pretty short game. I did read a Steam review saying that the game could be speed run, whatever the word might be. The game could be completed in about an hour if you really want to, but just know that on average, it'll take you about 2 hours to beat. With all of that said, I give a game about digging a hole a rating of 6.6 sausages out of 10. First, I just want to get this out there. The game did not earn a 6.6 sausage rating because I dislike it. I actually had a pretty decent time playing this game. As for the story, it's minimal and almost non-existent. You buy a house, you start digging. That's it. The gameplay is also pretty minimal, though for the most part, it's pretty solid. All you do is dig some more, sell some rocks and stuff, upgrade your equipment, and then keep digging. I do have a couple minor complaints though. First off, the dynamite doesn't actually feel like dynamite. If you're buying dynamite and you're throwing dynamite, you expect it to be, well, dynamite. Instead, they feel like little corner store gas station firecrackers, right? There are some big rocks deep in your backyard and the hole that you're digging that your shovel or your drill can't break through. So you buy dynamite to blow those up. But when you throw it, it's just poof. Just a little thing of smoke, and then the rock just disappears almost. It turns into dirt so you can dig through it, But you would think being dynamite, it's going to be a big explosion, and it's not. It's very disappointing, I suppose. It's a game mechanic, but again, being dynamite, you would think it's going to be dynamite. It's going to be a TNT. It's, it's an explosive. It's pop. That's it. Next, there's a chest in the garage, and it's got 2 locks on it. I replayed this game a second time, and I spent over 2.5 hours looking for the keys for this chest. In my first playthrough, I found 1 set of keys, but I didn't find the other one. So I replayed the game again, spent 2.5 hours looking for the keys, found both sets of keys, and I opened the chest. I'm not going to tell you what was in there because it's a spoiler, and some people might want to find the keys, but I'm telling you, I felt disappointed. I felt kind of let down. When you open the chest, you'll get 2 items. One of the items I didn't realize was a one-time use. I'm not going to tell you what it was. Again, spoilers. But I used it and it was done, and I thought, wow, that's it? That's all you get? It serves a purpose. It isn't just, fireworks on your screen that say good job or whatever. It actually does something, but it just didn't feel worth it. The second item, it increases the effectiveness of one of the items you get to use in the game, but again, I didn't feel like it was really that worth it. I mean, if you find both sets of keys, great. There's no reason not to open it. But if you replay the game or you want to find both sets of keys before completing the game, just know you'll probably be a little bit disappointed. Next, there's fall damage. I feel like the fall damage is a bit exaggerated. Usually in a game, you've got a pretty decent amount of leeway, and I suppose that there is in this game, because even though the distance that you are granted to fall without taking damage isn't that much, the amount of damage you actually take, again, isn't that much. There is an achievement for falling so far, but I don't really care about that. The reason that this is really an issue is because when you're digging, you don't clear out everything. There might be specks of dirt here or there that when you're falling into the hole, let's say you're an hour into the game and you've dug pretty far down, the hole isn't completely empty. There's just specks of dirt just hanging out in the air. They don't fall down, or in a game like Deep Rock Galactic, where if it's not connected, if it's not touching the wall in some way, the ceiling, floor, whatever it is, they don't have just floating dirt. It just, poof, disappears, it crumbles. That doesn't happen in this game, so you might not actually see it there. It might be really small. I mean, if you get close, you're going to see it, but if you're falling, there's a very good chance that you are going to hit a speck of dirt and you could get hurt. Now, this isn't really that big of an issue because you can just, very gently tap on the jetpack to slow your fall, but it's still an issue that I think needed to be addressed. Now remember, this game did only take 14 days to make, and I don't know how many people worked on it. Regardless, 14 days, that's not a lot of time. So I'm cutting the developer slack in this regard, because I've never developed a game, let alone a game in 14 days. While the game is fun, I just wish there was more going on. I wish there were more mechanics. It's only a 2-hour game, took them 14 days to complete. Instead of a jetpack, maybe make that, there's the drill for the shovel, there's a drill upgrade for the shovel. It's like the last 3 upgrades. Why not start the game off with ladders? Make you buy ladders, and then eventually you can upgrade the ladder or ladders, or maybe make it a purchasable item. Make the jetpack, an end game thing, so you're not spending 15 minutes climbing out of the hole that you made. Instead, you've got the jetpack and you're up there in 15 seconds, Overall, I did enjoy the game, but it is minimal. It's minimal. I can't explain, I can't elaborate any more about how minimal it is. You dig a hole for 2 hours, that's it. And that's my review of a game about digging a hole. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking, subscribing, and leaving a comment below. But if not, just know that I appreciate your viewership nonetheless. I also stream on Twitch occasionally, and I have a Discord for both casual viewers and content creators alike, so consider joining me on both of those platforms as well. I'll leave a link to everything in the description below. Anyway, I think I'm going to cut my review here. Mahoney out.